Okay, that should be all the links shared. With that being said, hello and welcome to the stream. And today, we are not gonna delay much further because we are on a bit of a timer. I did not mention it yet, but we are on a timer. And where is the screen share? Here is the screen share. Yes, this one. This one will do. Actually, maybe this. Yes. Okay. We are looking today into one of my older games called Fae King. Well, it's not that old, but it is unpublished as of yet. And I don't know how to fix it. Hopefully over the course of today's stream, we will figure out some way of fixing it and making it better. More of a TTRPG than what it is currently. That out of the way, let's just dive right in. Let's start reading all the rules and see what this is about. As you can see, I'm doing this on GM Binder. Hopefully I will have energy to rework this someday into my offline GM Binder Lite copy. That way it will be independent of D&D formatting and so on. Let's dive in. Actually, first I will check whether the music is fine. Yeah, the music is at an acceptable volume. Fae King. Yes, the pun is intentional. The legends say that any mortal who consumes the soul of the Fae King, kept in his heart, will be granted a single wish. But beware, for any Fae that consumes a mortal's heart will also be granted a wish. You can fall asleep in a fairy ring if found to visit Elfheim for 1 hour. By playing this game, you've agreed to try claiming your character's greatest wish. Simple as that. Let's see the mortal rules. An hour is golden. You will stay in Elfheim for exactly 1 real-world hour. The narrator tracks this time. What you say, you say. A character speaks anything their player says. The character is an exception. The narrator is an exception. So, hello, human, Mr. Benson Burner. Hello, Katie. Love to see you here. How are you doing on this wonderful day? I am reading through the rules of Fae King, which is a game I've published. I did not publish yet, but I made it last year. Craving Burger. I know that feeling. Well, we've talked about this before. Yet another game. Yes, indeed. This one is about Fae. Specifically, actually, I'll just reread the first blurb just so you can hear it. The legends say that any mortal who consumes the soul of the Fae King, kept in his heart, will be granted a single wish. But beware, for any Fae that consumes a mortal's heart will also be granted a wish. You can fall asleep in a fairy ring you found to visit Elfheim for 1 hour. By playing this game, you've agreed to try claiming your character's greatest wish. Simple as that. You eating a heart. Yes, listen, this has to be a little gruesome. It is Fae, fairies. Fairies do not always have to be cute. Sometimes they can be a little scary, creepy, spoopy. You know? It's not like absolutely scary. I mean, this is just black and white document, but you'll see. So far we've got mortal rules established, which means you play this game always exactly for 1 hour, 1 real-life hour. It might be a little too short, I don't know for sure. And what you say, which means anything the player characters will say, anything the players will say, their character will say. So a bad thing to say would be, Jack shuts the window. A good thing would be, hold on miss, let me shut this window first. The narrator should infer fitting reasonable actions from dialogue without detailed instructions. You know, because that's just fair. Speak to the narrator in character, not out of character, and set a signal for out-of-game talk. Just, you know, use it sparingly. So this is for some really necessary situations, like I need to go to the restroom, or someone is at the door, I will go open the door, or does anyone want more snacks or something? You could do this in character, it would be neat, but I would try to limit this to very important stuff, or, you know, just use it sparingly. Character creation. Mark 12 spaces on a piece of paper. Out of them, 4 are reserved for your name, 1 syllable per space. The rest is filled with titles that describe your character's abilities. A greater number of syllables implies greater competence. So, here's how this game works. Whenever you try to do something, you don't make any rolls with dice, probably neither drawing cards. You just say that you are going to do it, in character of course, and the narrator will respond to you in kind. So let's see. The 4 degrees of competence are way, somethinger, somethinger, something, and no adjective. So these are just some examples, and 1 syllable only adjectives so that this works. You have bold, for example, so this is either you are not bold, so it's not even on your character sheet, or you are bold, bolder, and way bolder. Bold, fair, keen, quick, prim, shrewd, smooth, strong, thin. These are just example adjectives. You could come up with your own. You could come up with pretty much anything, as long as it is just a single syllable. Now, for the acting. Characters with a longer title are better than those who have a shorter title with that adjective. For example, someone strong could lose an arm wrestling match to someone who's way stronger. So, now you see what I made here, and I really like how this works out. Why is being bold a bad thing here? Well, no, it's not a bad thing. This is actually a good thing. I don't know why I implied it's a bad thing. These are good things that you can be. So you can be not bold at all, or bold, bolder, and way bolder. Not bold! No. In an even match, the narrator may rarely draw a card. Red suits favor the initiator. The narrator may also use this as a way of telling who can or cannot perform certain tasks. For example, I'm afraid Jack can't pick up the spoon that fell beneath the cabinet. He'd need to be thinner. Okay, I'm a lurk now. I'm gonna go make dinner. Alright, bon appetit. Have a good meal. Glad to have you here. Okay, moving on. Wounds. Mortals in Elfheim don't get hurt like they would in the mortal realm. Instead, whenever they get hurt, they choose 1 space that describes their character and cross out its contents. They lose any part of your name. Okay, they lose any part of their name. They lose any part of their name that's crossed out. When crossing out titles, it must be done in the following order. So first you cross out way, second you cross out the at the end, and finally the adjective itself. A mortal who has nothing left vanishes into thin air, never to be again. You can never uncross your spaces. In other words, there is no healing in this game. Which means this is sort of, I would compare it to roguelike, because you will just keep visiting the Fae realm until you either get your wish fulfilled or you die. And this is most certainly a death type scenario. That being said, these are just the mortal rules. I tried my best to fit them onto a single page, and I think this works really nicely. I wouldn't change much here. The only one I would consider changing is this one, which, yeah, maybe I could give each player a suit that they would be preferred with or something. I don't know, something. Fae rules. A Fae can't tell a mortal apart from the Fae just by the looks. Even remembering them 1 hour later can be difficult. This is what the players use as their advantage in this game. In other words, yes, you are trying to hunt down the Fae King, and the Fae would prefer not to have their king slain by some mortals, or hell, even other Fae, I guess. But they have troubles distinguishing the boundaries between Fae and mortals, just like I mentioned in my last video. In case you have seen that. Have you seen that? I don't know. If a Fae speaks a deliberate lie, it dies. In other words, you can try to trick the Fae into saying a deliberate lie, and kill it that way. If a Fae does not uphold the tradition after it has been mentioned, it dies. Traditions are described later. This is another way to eliminate the Fae, just in case they would be trouble for you. A Fae knows someone's immortal if they survive something fatal to Fae. In other words, he spoke a lie and did not die, therefore he must be immortal. And finally, Fae revive 1 hour after death. Murdering Elfame is just an inconvenience. In other words, if you like your NPCs who are Fae and the players just happen to kill one, do not fret, they will be back on the next session, because death to them is just an inconvenience. That's why they call humans mortals, because they can die, and Fae cannot. At least not in a permanent way. Moving on, courting phase. Players help the Fae to gain their trust. Each assist adds 2 cards to a house of cards the players build together, image below. Unsupported cards may lay until the next draw. A 4-story house earns an audience with the Fae King. So you can see it in the picture. The point is, you are trying to build a house of cards. This is pretty much reverse Dread. I blatantly stole that from Dread, except it's cards instead of a Jenga tower. And yeah, that's the whole shtick of this courting phase. Whenever the player character speaks a deliberate lie, don't uphold the tradition or say something out of character that wouldn't make sense for their character, draw a card. Each card that falls or is pulled from the house of cards represents one Fae that noticed. If there are some cards still standing, each player gets to do one thing. In other words, you spoke a lie by accident, or you didn't uphold the tradition by accident and you did not die. Now the Fae are suspicious of you, and if there are still some cards standing, you have a chance to save it, maybe by invoking some more traditions or making them lie or something. Good luck, because if you do not survive it, if you do not do that, the hunting phase begins if no part of the house of cards stands, which shouldn't be true at the start of the game, I will have to edit that later. Any of the witnesses have survived, spreading their knowledge to others, or someone attacks the Fae King. Right, like I said, the House of Cards will stay if any of the cards are standing. You still have a chance to recover, as long as you manage to kill all the witnesses, the cards that fell down. In retrospect, I think I would make these the individual Fae that you got, whose trust you got. Let's see, how many cards is that actually? That's 8, 6, 4, 2. That's a 20 total, 26 cards, so 13 pairs. Okay, yeah, so that's nicely laid out. If we consider building a house of cards in an hour, 13 cards would mean that you would have to help out a single Fae at least once every 4 or 5 minutes. No, 26, 13. Yeah, roughly once every 4 minutes. Moving on. Hunting phase. The sky darkens, the Fae reveal their true forms, the wild hunt is on. The mortals must outlast the Fae until the golden hour ends, at which point they vanish immediately, waking up in the fairy ring. Remember, because the golden hour lasts 1 hour, the narrator collects all cards into a face-down deck and shuffles them. Then they deal each player a hand of 3 cards. The round starts with the narrator's description of the situation. In a clockwise order, each player can pick a card from their hand and either give it to the narrator or placing it face down. Okay, yeah, that's a bit of a mess of wording, and I'm afraid I will have to go for just a moment, so I'll be right back. And I am back. Apologies about that. Some urgent matters simply won't wait. Okay, hopefully that's done. Okay. 29 minutes in, we're doing pretty good. The round starts with the narrator's description of the situation. In a clockwise order, each player can pick a card from their hand and either give it to the narrator or place it face down in front of themselves. Showing the cards to others is allowed. Given card means distracting, narrator draws your card instead, but you get wounded. No card means blending in with the crowd. You get wounded only if no one else does. A hearts means hiding somewhere low, somewhere high, somewhere natural, somewhere artificial. After all turns, the narrator draws a card, or uses the given one, and all face-down cards are revealed. The Fae will find and wound any mortals whose cards suit or rank matches the narrator's card. After resolving this, the narrator deals all the player's cards until each one holds 3 again. Used cards are discarded from the deck until it runs out. Creative thinking beyond simply playing cards should be encouraged. So here's the thing, this whole thing feels like a board game inserted into a tabletop RPG. It's not a bad thing, it's not awful, but I feel it could be better. I don't know yet how. Maybe instead of dealing the cards and considering these the hiding places, they could be instead the NPCs. That could make things a lot more interesting. But hold on, let me just check something real quick. Okay, so that's the thing I want to hopefully fix today. I will see if I manage to do that or not. Until then, variant rule, a way out. If you wish to potentially shorten the hunting phase, the GM may shuffle a Joker card into the deck. When the Joker is drawn, the characters find a way to immediately escape Elfheim, returning to the safety of the mortal realm. Yeah, if I were to rework it so that each card is a fake creature, then the Joker could be the Elf King himself. Or herself, and we'll get to that. In a nutshell, Elf King is just a title that I wanted to use because... not Elf, Fae King. It's a title I wanted to use so that the name of the game works as a pun. Moving on, traditions. To the Fae, traditions are phrases and figures of speech used by humans. They, as well as the realm of Elfheim, take these traditions literally. When one is brought up, the narrator records it and refers to it for the rest of the session. Examples of traditions. You are what you eat. Eating a meal transforms one slowly into the meal's source. Carrots turn you carrot-like, pork turns you pig-like, etc. These changes persist until the next session. Home sweet home. A residence turns into candy if its owner is in it. Yeah, it's just goofy stuff. Walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Nobody shall wear their own shoes. And sticks and stones may break my bones. Anything made out of wood and stone can be used as a lethal weapon. Mortals struck by them cross out 3 spaces instead of 1, because the Fae would believe that these hurt so much more. The narrator can veto any traditions that could make the game unplayable. So this is just to make sure it is playable, because there is a saying, silence is golden, and well, if you go by that literally, no one is allowed to speak anymore, and the game is unplayable. It could maybe gesture, do charades and stuff, but I know that just, I don't think that's gonna be a good one, probably. maybe. Example Fae. Names are omitted for the sake of brevity. Too bad, I included the names as well, kind of. They are not like specific names of individuals, but they are just names of Fae categories, I guess. So we have a Banshee who is way bolder, shrewd, keener, stronger, quicker, and way thinner. We have also a Changeling who is bold, primer, fair, shrewder, keener, smoother, quick, and stronger. A Dryad is bold, primer, way fairer, way shrewder, keener, smoother, quick, and way stronger. Elf is way bolder, quicker, smooth, way fairer, way primer, strong, way keener, shrewder, and thin. Fairy is bolder, way quicker, way fairer, primer, keener, and way thinner. And finally Goblin, who is way keener, quicker, and rather thin. Beyond the weaknesses to the traditions and lies, most Fae are too dainty to survive a single good attack. As long as you are quick, strong, or shrewd about it, you'll do fine. Other titles may apply too. The Fae King is much harder to kill with attacks, especially considering that an average Fae King is way stronger, way slyer, way thinner, way quicker, way shrewder, and so on. You get the point. Way more in every aspect. They'd be wounded by mortal attacks the same way a mortal would be. An easier way to kill the Fae King is tricking him into uttering a lie or breaking a tradition. After his soul is consumed, a new Fae King will arise, continuing the cycle. Wishes. Anyone can only ever get a single wish fulfilled, be it mortal or Fae. No wish may change this fact. A mortal who gets their wish is never again welcome in Alfheim. So that's my game in total. It's a hack of Puppet Land that I wrote. I did not write Puppet Land. Let's just make sure that's specified. This was made for a game jam about hacking games which were released before year 2000. And Puppet Land is a game that is pretty old and inspired this one significantly. In this game, players play as puppets, and that's where I got the other rules, like the first rule, an hour is golden, but it is not an hour. This means that in the game's world you can have a week pass, or even a month, or some other long duration, but every session can only last a single hour. Second rule, what you say is what you say. I did not even need to rephrase this one. It is literally played the same way it is described here. So even if it's past the chips or I'm going to the bathroom, you still need to phrase it in a way that would make sense for your character to say. Saying, I think I shall climb the ladder and go in the window is the thing that you are supposed to do in this game. If this hammer I now hold, I shall smash the window in. You know, stuff like that. The third rule, the tale grows in the telling and is being told to someone not present. I left out this one because I did not feel like it's necessary for my own hack of it. In Puppet Land, the whole point of it is that it is a story that actors are making for an imagined audience. My game is not made for an imagined audience. I don't go that far into it. So here's a bad example apparently. Okay, the door bursts in and there's a bunch of those nutcracker guys standing here. One of them yells at you to stop. Let's get out the back door and fast. I pick up the rock and throw it in at the nutcracker. You throw the rock and smash the nutcracker's jaw. He can't bite anymore. And a good example. And then the door burst down. The three nutcrackers stood there, one of them still chomping on the doorknob. Stop, you manging puppets, cried one. Run! Run out the back door! We must escape the nutcrackers! Where is that rock? Here it is! I shall hurl this rock and smash your greedy mouth, nutcracker! The rock flew across the room and hit the first nutcracker in the jaw. "Oomph!" cried the injured nutcracker. "I cannot bite, nor chomp!" cried another. And it was right. The nutcracker's jaw was broken in two. Like, yeah, this can work thematically nice for a puppet play type of game, but for my game, I don't know. It felt like too much of a copying. This is primarily what inspired me in the aspects, but I wanted it to be a little broader. So finger puppets are these are 4 character types that you can play, and it is advised that I think it is advised that you use these puppets at the table when playing. So we have finger puppets, which are short and small, light, quick and weak. Hand puppets, which are medium-sized, sort of heavy, not very fast, strong, sort of strong. Shadow puppets, which are tall and thin, light, quick and weak. And finally, marionettes, which are tall and stocky, heavy, slow and strong. So there's also a puppet sheet. I don't. Okay, let's not do that. It's just character sheet with a little outline of a character, which you tear pieces off of as you as you get wounded. So this is pretty much what you would do in this game for your character. Meanwhile, in my game, let me just check my notepad is empty. Okay, so in this game, let's see. We are supposed to have 12 spaces. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's bump up the font size to something that we can actually see. And okay, so our names should be maybe Jackson. Out of them, 4 are reserved for your name, so 1 syllable per space. Rest is filled with titles that describe characters' abilities. Okay, Michael. Michael Jackson, because why not? That's the first name that came to my mind, I guess. I was going mainly because I wanted this surname to make sense without actually maybe like this Jackson and Michael. I don't know. Is there any other Robert? Yeah, okay, like this, Robert Jackson. So if I get hurt and I don't want my abilities to get reduced, I could do something like this. And now I am Rob Jackson, because the earth part has been taken out. Now, as for these adjectives, let's see. Let's make them stronger, I think. Smooth, quick, way quicker. Okay, we have still space for 2 more. Let's say he's King. Okay, that's 4 for the name. 2, 3, that's a total of 5, 6. 2 left. Just as it should be. Let's say also bold and fair. Okay. Now, idea I am playing with. Maybe I need to reuse the Fae types in order to use them as card suits. Maybe. That could maybe work. Okay. I'll just need 4 of them. So let's just see. What are the most basic types? I would say Fairy is very basic, along with Goblin and maybe an Elf, because these cover the various body types, I think. Fairy is really small and winged, so that's covering these things. Goblin, not too many traits. I could expand on it if I give up on some stuff. Banshee. Okay, that could also work out. Right, okay, let's just get to it. I will copy these off to the side, just as a backup. Okay, and okay, this works. So, Changeling, let's just do this. Compare Changeling and Elf. Elf is way bolder than Changeling. Elf is quicker than Changeling as well. Changeling is smoother. Elf is way fairer and way primer. Strong. Well, Elf is weaker than Changeling. Changeling is stronger, and Elf is way keener than Changeling. While both of them are shrewder, and Elf, on top of it all, is thin. I would say that it is not a terrible loss to get rid of Changeling, just merge it into the Elf. In theory, we could also do the same with Fairy and Goblin. I mean, okay, they are way thinner, way keener, quick and way quicker. Maybe not. That's a bit of a stretch. Banshee and Dryad. How about we combine these two? Let's see. The Dryad is way shrewder, but Banshee is way bolder. Banshee is not fair whatsoever, and neither is she prime. Banshee is quicker, but while she is stronger, Dryad is way stronger and smoother as well. Both of them are keener. Well, okay, here's the idea I am playing with. You have a deck of 52 playing cards, right? Each of them has a suit and a rank. There's 13 ranks and 4 suits. If I reduce the Fae types to 4 types, which would be corresponding with each suit, I could also then rework these to work as card ranks. In other words, what would this be looking like is maybe instead of, no, I don't know. I want there to be some agency for the players, that's the thing. And I don't want it to just be, I am shrewder, therefore I will run around the corner and hide, and they will not find me. No, that's just boring. I want it to be something better, something more. I know I can do better. And I have a feeling I could do one more line here, maybe. Yes, I can do one more line, definitely. But I will need to distribute it across the columns. Because now, since there are 12 of these, I could assign these card ranks. And if they have card ranks, maybe the player could draw cards to see what options they have for escaping currently. Either a fairy who is trying to be shrewd about it, or an elf who is trying to be bold, or something else like that. But I don't know yet how to make it all work. Either way, the Fae types, I think, could work out. Okay, type, suit, and titles, I believe I called it. Objectives. Okay, so we have maybe... How could I kind of want a name that could label both a Banshee and a Dryad. Maybe like a Spirit or something. I don't know yet. Next up is Elf, Changeling, Fairy, Pixie, Goblin, I don't know, Troll? Yeah, let's keep it at Goblin for now. And let's just get rid of others. Okay, now, what suits would correspond with these the best? Okay, spades, clubs, hearts, diamonds. My first instinct is to give the elf hearts, because that's like a... I feel like these are more sealy than unsealy, while these two... Okay, something like this for the start. Now for the adjectives, that will be a little more difficult to list out, but still doable. Though maybe I could spread it across the columns. So let's try that. Okay, something like this. And now he would write something like, let's see, for the fairy, we have Boulder, Wayfarer, Keener, Way Wicker, Framer, Way Thinner. Something like this. Maybe the suit symbols should be replaced. Let me just copy that from another game of mine. Those who have nothing. Yeah, that should work. Now just to find where do I list all the symbols in order. So 9, 11, no. Up in the header of the table? Come on, it's got to be there. No, it's not there. It's only written in words. Can I at least scroll sideways? Nope, I cannot. Okay, well, that didn't work. Oh yeah, the express deliveries. Express... Taxi? RuneHack Taxi game, also known as RuneHack Express Deliveries. Now available on itch.io. Okay, we have something. Maybe I should have kept this for the red suit, black suit, red suit and suit. Metadata, underline, damage save, descriptive, red suit and suit. Here we go. That's exactly what I wanted. Now just gonna remove all of these. That's all of them, I think. Okay, we have our 4 symbols. Just gonna give them new lines in order to make them a little better, a little more readable. And replace them. Clubs are these. No, those are spades. I'm a dum-dum. These are clubs. These are diamonds. And these are hearts. Bingo. And maybe I could switch the first 2 columns. Boom, just to save even more space. Amazing. Especially if I do say so myself. No, centered. That one should be centered. Okay. That would shorten a lot of stuff here. Maybe even giving us space for name generator. That could be exciting. Okay. Goblin. Way keener, quicker and thin. I'm thinking maybe I should let go of the conventional view of the goblins and just try to do my own. Also, maybe I should just remove these all while at it, just so that I can start fresh. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. We have supposedly 12 adjectives. I don't have all 12 just yet, but we have 4 types of Fae and 12 adjectives, with each one having 4 degrees of competence. So I'm thinking, let's just see more single syllable adjectives and try to add them to the list first and foremost. Okay, let's see. Calm? That could be interesting. Also wise, sharp, true, proud, neat. Neat. Now neat work for sure, I think. Neater. You know, like someone who likes cleaning up and stuff. Just, bright, good. Calm. Yeah, keeping your head calm in a stressful situation could be pretty good, pretty interesting. Thin, bright. Yeah, let's go with bright. Okay, we have our 12 adjectives there. And now we'll just include them here for reference. Don't worry about formatting, we will resolve that in time. Here's the thing. one of these should have it to the max. One of them should have it to a slightly better degree. Some of them should have it to the minimal degree, and some of them should have it to no degree. So let's just think about it systematically. Bold. Which one of these is the boldest? I'm thinking... okay, maybe not bold. Let's start with something else. Bright, calm, fair. Okay, fair. Yes. That stands for like beauty stuff. So let's say that an elf is way fairer. A fairy is fairer. Banshee is fair. And a goblin is not fair at all. So that would be one of these eliminated. Let's also do something like this. So we have Banshee, Elf, Fairy, Goblin. And here we will measure roughly how much of what have we used. So we have wonder how to put it. 3, 2, 1, 0. That's just for Wayfarer being 3 because it's 3 syllables, and this one having no syllables. Moving on. Strong. Strong, I feel, could be assigned. Let's say the goblin is gonna be the strongest. Just to make it different. Maybe it's gonna be like troll or goblinoid or something. Banshee and elf. Yeah, like this. It is pretty much the opposite of it. Yeah, let's go with that. So this one is stronger. This one is strong. This one is not strong, and this one is way stronger. Okay, so we have strong sorted out. Next up, let's see bright. Now, Banshee should be least bright, because I'm thinking of bright as in joyful, full of joy, happiness. Fairy would be the brightest, obviously. Elf would be somewhat bright. I don't know, maybe Goblin would be bright. Yeah, like this. I like that. Okay, so this one is not bright at all. This one is bright. This one is way brighter. And this one is brighter. Maybe it's a goblin. It's just a goofy little guy. Okay. Calm, keen, neat. Neat. Well, when it comes to neatness, I think goblins would have it like the lowest. Also, I'm starting to realize, since there are 4 degrees. Okay, I'll sort that out later. Prim and neat are kind of similar, aren't they? That's a bit of a trouble. Actually, let's set the video so that it doesn't loop. That way, I will know roughly when it's time to finish. Unless I just don't notice. Let's keep neat for now. Okay. Quick. That one should be a very important one to sort out, and I think fairies could be way quicker. Goblins or elves, banshees. Let's say banshees are gonna be pretty quick still. Elves are quick and goblins are not. So quick, that's gonna be before strong. Quicker. quick. Way quicker. And not quick at all. Okay. We need to sort out one more that the goblin would have nothing in. And I think neat or prim could work. Shrewd, thin. Yeah, okay, let's go with like neat or prim. Maybe I need more. Let's see some inspiration. I guess there is wise, but wise overlaps with smart. Pure? Sharp, clean, loyal, that's 2 syllables. Good, tough, tougher. You need to be tougher. You know what? Let's go with tough. Okay. Hopefully that will do the trick. So, tough. No, we were doing prim, so that the goblin can be not prim whatsoever. Prim, I think. Let's do trim one here and 3 and 2. Yeah. Okay, so prim. Way primer. I feel like neater will be better than prim, but okay, primer and nothing. Good. So goblin will now need all the numbers. Let's just try to sort it out like this. Okay, organized from lowest to highest. Moving on. Thin. Let's wrap up the fairy, which is gonna be way thinner. Goblin is thinner. Elf and Banshee. I'm thinking Elf is somewhat thin and Banshee is not. Or maybe I need to do this as 1, this as 2, and this as 0. Yeah, something like this, I think. And no, this one is not thin at all. This one is thinner. This one is way thinner already, and this one is thin. Okay. That's that sorted out. Okay. We could wrap up the elves' best trade as well. I'm thinking. No, wait, we already did prim. Yeah. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 left. That's okay, that's good. True. Ooh. I'm thinking. Shrewd could maybe the defining quality of the elves. Now let's put something positive to the Banshee, because let's go with bold. Banshee is gonna be way bolder considering it's like a spirit, maybe like a spiritual Fae being or something like that. Fairies, I would say let's not make them bold, and let's make... Goblins are strong, way stronger. So, like this. Oh no, wait, we already have one here, so let's swap those. Okay, so we are talking about boldness. Way bolder. Bolder. And just bold. Okay, bold is done. Ah, calm. Maybe I could organize it into 4 side-by-side tables, where these would be organized in 3x3s. Okay, I will have to do that in a bit. Calmness. I'm thinking what fairy is not. Shrewd, for sure, some shrewdness is there. Keen. Yeah, let's make fairies keen as well. Smooth, yeah. Tough, oh yeah, toughness. Fairy is not tough. Okay, so toughness, fairy 0. Goblin. I won't put it into 3, but okay, toughness will have to be 2 over here. Oh, but that will mean the elves can only be unshrewd and so on and so forth. Am I forgetting something? 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, do I get one more? I think I get one more. Okay, let's just say that elf is not tough. Nah. Okay, I will need to rethink some of these, I believe. Because the fairy should not be tough at all. Banshee, I am perfectly fine with having anything. Elf? I'm thinking if this one should be tough. It's like a mook fighty type. Okay, let's put like this. This is once again number 1. So let's just switch these two. Yeah. Okay, so. Oops. This one is tough. This one is tougher. This one is not tough at all, and this one is way tougher. Okay, so this one goes here, this one goes here, this one goes here, and this one goes here. Now the problem is, elf can only be one of these and nothing else. Maybe elves are not smooth, like it's about smooth talking, about being seductive or something. And elf is just least human-ish, human-oriented, something along those lines. What if the Banshee is the smoothest? Okay, yeah, let's deal with smoothness now. I guess that works. I don't know if I am happy with Goblin being number 2 in smoothness. Is Fairy calm? No. Is Fairy keen? Perfectly fine at 1. Is Fairy shrewd? Also, yeah, fine at 1. So let's just swap these two. Yeah. Okay, so this one was about smoothness. Way smoother, not smooth at all. Oops. smoother and smooth. Okay, that's that. 1, 2, 0, 3. Smoothness done. More elvish. Weaknesses probably. I mean, if elf was this shrewdest, that would be pretty cool. Let's deal with the fairy first. So that's gonna be starting here. Calm, keen, and shrewd. Not great at these, not terrible at these. Actually, let's just do this as here. Okay. Goblin gets to be great at one of these. Way shrewder, way keener, or way calmer. Elf also gets to be way something, way calmer, way keener, or way shrewder. Banshee also. So each of these gets to be amazing in one of these. Now, when I think Banshee, I'm not thinking about calmness. When I think Banshee, I'm thinking about someone who will follow you to the end of the world. So let's just put the shrewdness at 3 here. Let's make these, no, not shrewdness, keener, the keenness. Let's make this one the shrewdest and this one the calmest. Something like this, yeah. Calm. Calmer. Oh yeah, okay, I got ones covered by this. 2s, I can fit in here, here, and here again. So, Goblin gets to be calmer, keener, or shrewder. Or rather, Banshee gets to be either calmer, or keener, or shrewder. Banshee is not calm. Yeah, let's put that at 0. So this one would have to be shrewder. And this would need to be number 2, but I cannot fit in number 2 in here. That's a problem. Maybe I'm sorting it all out wrong. Okay, let's just do it like this. Okay. Banshee, Elf, Fairy. Probably. Also, I'm starting to think that maybe giving each of them 9 of these words is a bit too much. So let's try and see if I can work it with fewer words than 9. How would I work the distribution here? I'm thinking 2 times 3. Just to minimize the total number of words, 6 times should be 0, which would put me at 2 times 2 and 2 times 1. Okay, okay. I think I can make this work, sort of. Oh yeah, and maybe like this. Okay, so let's think about it like this. Fairy is the thinnest for sure, because small size. Since we have only 6 of the number 3s, oh, that's not good, because now I don't have all of them covered. Or do I? No, I will need 3. I think, no. No, okay, whatever. Let's just put in the most important, least important stuff, and then sort out the rest. I will delete this so that I don't get distracted. Okay. Banshee. Banshee would be... Now, let's start with Goblin. Goblin is the strongest, and maybe even the toughest. So let's see if anything else fits. Bold, bright, calm, fair, keen, quick, prim, shrewd, smooth, strong, thin, tough. Let's go with tough, yeah. Fairy is thin, smooth, no, shrewd, no, prim, no, quick, kind of. I want to say maybe they are quick. I'm thinking Elf is the fairest of them all. Also, let's center the columns so that that's neater. Banshee. Bright? Absolutely not. Calm? No. Fair? No. Keen? I wanna say yes. Quick? No. Prim? Shrewd? No. Smooth? Nope. Strong, thin, tough? No. Okay, so bold for sure, because they are like spirits, nothing will scare them or get past them. Now Elf. Bright, calm, quick, prim, shrewd. Let's make the elves shrewd. And let's make the fairies quick. Okay, now for the weaknesses. Wait, maybe 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. 2 to 3. That's 7 words total. Yeah, I guess I could deal with 7 words being listed. So let's see if we can figure out 5 weaknesses for each one. That's gonna be probably difficult, but I can still try. Okay, 5 weaknesses. Fairy is definitely not tough. It's definitely not strong. Shrewd, I'll leave that for now. Prim, keen, fair, calm, definitely not calm, and bold, also not bold. One more weakness for them. Smooth, shrewd, prim. I don't know, but I know that goblins are not gonna be prim. Actually, let's try to go with that original composition of like 3s, 3 numbers in each. Ah, no, let's keep it that way, this way for now. Okay, Goblin. Let's say goblins are not thin. Smooth? Are goblins smooth talkers? Maybe they are not shrewd. Yeah, let's go with that. Keen. Which one would be the least keen among these? I guess Goblin. Okay, that's 4 zeros for now. Let's go for the Elf. Now Elf. Maybe the elves are not the brightest, like they are gloomy and serious and stuff. Calmness would be pretty high in them. Keenness. Oh, wait. Fairy. Calm. Okay, I'll leave that for now. Keen. Quick. Prim. Shrewd. Smooth. Okay, they are not smooth. They are not tough either. And one more weakness. I'm thinking not strong, but that would copy the fairy too much. So let's say elves are not quick. They are like slow, patient, you know. Oh, I will catch you in 100 years, I think, if I'll feel like it. I know that there are movie elves who are faster, like Legolas and stuff, but yeah, nah. Okay, finally the Banshee. Banshee is not calm. Banshee is not fair. Ooh, fair is also a weakness for the goblins. Quick, prim, shrewd, smooth, strong, thin, tough. Let's go with strong and smooth. Okay. So we have 5 zeros here, 5 zeros here, 4 and 4 zeros in Elf and Fairy. Maybe if fairies are not keen, I could see that. And Elf could be not thin. That would make it sound fat. Let's go with not bold instead. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, and now we just assign everything else 1 and 2, I believe. 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. Oh yeah, maybe I will need one extra 1 there. Okay, so Banshee. Actually, no, let's look at it row by rows. Fairy could be 1, in fairness. Like, a fairy is pretty, sure, more like cute, but way fairer is the elf. Same for the goblin and keenness of the elf. I'm just doing it based on the sums so far. So elf would be strong, Banshee would be tough, elf would be keen as well, fairy would be fair, and goblin is bold. Okay, that's once assorted for now, for the time being. Twos. I believe I should prioritize the rows with 2 number zeros for a 2. So, calmness. Elf should be calm for sure. Primness. I'm thinking elf could be prim. Smoothness. Fairy. Oh, prim. Smooth. Yeah, I don't know. Thin. Oh yeah, no wait, that's all the rows with double zeros so far. Okay, rows with single zero, there's just one. Right. A fairy should have a 2 in there. Okay, so Banshee, Elf, Fairy, Goblin. For a fairy, we have 3 3 2 2 1 0 0 0 0 0. That's a total of 10 out of 12. Okay. For Banshee, we have 3 3 1 2 3 4 5. For Elf, we have 3 3 2 2 1 1 1 2 3 4 5. Which would mean that they are also thin. Finally, for Goblin, we have 3 3 1 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. Banshee needs to have a 2 in 2 of the things. Bright? No. Maybe like, I guess... Banshee should have had a brightness 0. No, let's put 1 here. Like, Banshee can be maybe bright, or Banshee sprite type, spirit type thing. I need 2 number 2s and 1 number 1. Quick, that's gonna be 2. Shrewd. Let's make this 2 and 2 and this 1. So 2 2 1. Boom. Done. We have 3 and 0 here, 3 and 0 here, 3 and 0 here. 3 and 0 we have also here, as well as here, and here, and here, and here. These two don't have a 3. This one doesn't have a 3, this one doesn't have a 3. But that's just inevitable since I went with a smaller amount of strongest attributes, strongest objectives. Okay, Fairy. Fairy only gets 1s in the rest, so kind of prim, kind of shrewd. And finally for Goblin, we get to assign 2s and 1s. 2 number 2s. This one is definitely 1. They are not the brightest. Actually, maybe 2. Calm? Nah. Quick? Yeah. And smooth 1. Okay. 2 2 1 1. Okay. The timer is running and I just realized that I forgot about the secret. Ah, that's a bummer. Okay. Ah, whatever. It's not like anyone checks the secret. So this time it's not gonna happen. Sorry, guys. Said Proph to nobody who checked the secret ever. Anyway. Smooth. Okay, let's just check all the rows without a 3. Bright, Allem. Okay, I guess those are okay. Prim and smooth. Yeah, okay, whatever. I can't have it all. Okay, time to rewrite it all. Banshee is way bolder. Right. Way keener. Weaker. Shrewd. Smooth. No, it was thinner. And tough. The elf is Palmer, Fairer, Keener, no, just Keen, Brimmer, Shrewder, no, way Shrewder, Strong and Thin. Fairy is Brighter, Fair, way quicker, Prim, Shrewd, smoother, and way thinner. Finally, Goblin is Bold, Brighter, Calm, quicker, smoother, no, just smooth, way stronger, and way tougher. And that is that, I believe. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of what else could I call the banshees and so on. Let's just look up some mythology. Maybe like Ruti, because now that I think about it, it's like they have a tie of some kind to something. So let's just say rooted. Or bound. Yeah, like that. Okay. Not only that, we now have space for stuff like names and such, if we wanted to. Let's just give a brief explanation. Bound, Fae are... Now let's just do it like this. Bound. And these are examples. So, Banshee, Dryad, Nymph, and so on. Elf? I feel like I should rename that, but I will get to that in a bit. Changeling, Elf, and maybe something else, I don't know. Fairy, Pixie, Sprite, I don't know, something. Goblin, Troll, and some other stuff. And maybe Gnome. And this could be like... I don't know. Okay, but so far so good, I think. If we include also a name generator at the bottom, now that will be great. Okay, so how should this work now? I don't know, but what I do know is that I need to turn on the lights because it's gotten dark by the time I did the stream. Here we go. A deck of cards. Let's just cut it in half and draw 3 cards. Okay, I got myself an 8 of diamonds, ace of hearts, and 5 of hearts. Okay, so 2 elves and a fairy. Let's sort these. To the suits, or rather the adjectives, ranks the adjectives. Okay. J. Q. K. Ace can just be anything or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. And I'm noticing some problems. How was it? No break? Oh, white space property, no wrap, that's the word. Okay, this works. It's gonna have some water. Okay. Let's just say for now that ace either stands for an extra adjective that you add into your game, or it stands for your lowest adjective. So I am being chased by Fae. I'm playing as Robert Jackson, and my attributes are that I am stronger, way quicker, keen, bold, and fair. I'm starting to think that compared to the Fae, this is very little. But then again, Fae are way easier to kill than humans. So, and humans also have names. The Fae are not protected by names. Whatever. We have 8 of diamonds, so that's something prim. And it's fairy. Fairy is prim. I am not prim at all. So fairy would have me beat in that. Ace of hearts. Hearts is an elf, and my lowest is anything that is not stronger, quicker. Yeah, maybe it's not the quickest. Maybe ace could be about something that I'm the best at. So way quicker versus elf, who is not quick at all. They will take their time. I could defeat an elf in being quick. Finally, elf, and 5 is fair. Now elves are fairer, while I am just fair. Elf could have me beating that. Therefore, I would probably choose the ace of hearts, depending on what exactly I will make it. Maybe I could draw an extra card at the start of the turn to see what exactly ace is. Or ace is just the fact that the Fae is not looking for me at all. Something like that, yeah. Okay, whatever. I got these beat. Let's try 3 more. So we have another ace. You know what? I'm gonna cut it just to avoid having an ace. 1, 2, 3 cards. And we have 8 of spades. So that's 8 of spades, 2 of spades, 7 of diamonds. Goblin, goblin, fairy. 8 to 7. Prim, bold, quick. Prim, bold, quick. Goblin is bold. Goblin is not prim at all. I'm not prim either, so that would be both of these goblins would be a fair fight. And fairy, prim, I think. Now, what was that other one? Quick. Fairy is way quicker, which I could not compete with. So in this case, I will have to draw a card to see if I beat a goblin in being like bolder. Let's say bold. If it's red, it's gonna favor the initiator. I am being chased in this scenario, hunted by the wild hunt of Fae. Therefore, the goblin will be favored by a red draw. And I drew a Queen of Hearts, so I would get hurt. Yikes. 3 more cards. Jack of clubs, 5 of clubs, 2 of diamonds. Clubs are bound cards. Jack, 5 and 2. 2 is bold, 5 is fair, and Jack is strong. So, could I defeat a bound in strength? I think I could. Yeah, so that's a safe one. Could I defeat them in fairness? Yes, I could. Could I defeat a fairy in being bold? Yes, I could. Okay, so this is quite interesting. But this is still a game. A mini game. It's not a role-playing scenario. Maybe the digit, the number, could determine where exactly the Fae are searching. I'm thinking. Or, no, not maybe the where are they searching, but like... something. I'm not sure. This is tough. This is very, very tough indeed. You know what? I'm just gonna remove the Banshee from the list. I feel mixed about that one. And with that out of the way, I could also remove Troll from here and just leave this up for the readers to conclude. Something like that. See, that's the problem with the Fae King, and the reason why I did not publish it yet. Because I cannot, for the life of me, figure out how to make the hunt itself into something that is not a game, a mini game in its entirety. How to make it into something where the players have options and choices. The cards could be used as like fodder, so the GM will just keep on laying out cards in front of the players and being like, and now a goblin is around, and now this is around, and now this, and now this, and now a... Okay, this is a goblin, this is an elf, 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 fairy, fairy, bound, bound, fairy, bound. No, that's actually, yeah, that's bound, that's goblin. So yeah, that the GM could get used to that. Question is just what they use the ranks for, if not for that. That's a tough one. Yeah, I am puzzled. Maybe the goal of the hunting phase is to run out of deck. Now, the goal is to last for an hour. Yeah, this is the tough part that I would need help with. Oh, wait, maybe the players get to draw cards, and depending on the situation, like there's a goblin and an elf in the room searching for you right now, you could maybe use your cards to increase your stats temporarily. So for example, I just drew a 2 of spades. If there is a goblin in the room for looking for me, I could spend the 2 of clubs to be bolder when facing that goblin. I could also spend 8 of clubs to be... I forget what this word was. Prim? Prim. Yeah, I could be prim when facing the goblin or something. And 3 of hearts would be being not bold but bright when compared to elf. Yeah, my character is not bright at all. If only there was like adjective for happy with this single, which is single syllable, and yeah, that stuff. And I'm slowly running out of time. Glad, I guess. Later. Here, Spryer. Comparative form of spry, so more spry. Lively, active, brisk, vigorous. Oh, you know what? Let's rename it spry. Yeah. Okay, so bright. Okay, whatever. No, let's not do that. Let's instead look back at the adjectives and just try to make sure it is somewhat close to what the players can do and be. So this one. Actually, I remember the names, the word still. The counts. 3 3 2 2 1 1 1. So 3 number 1s and 2 number 3s, that's like 3 number 3s, 9, and 2 number 2s is 13 total. Okay, so it's just a little bit better than what the players get. Except players also get a name on top of that. You know what? Screw it, let's give a buff to the players. Mark 16 spaces on a piece of paper. Out of them, 4 are reserved for your name, 1 syllable per space. The rest is filled with titles that describe your character's abilities. Greater number of syllables implies greater competence. Okay, and I will need to rewrite this at some point on my own after. That being said, though, I am thankful for your company today. I hope you've had as lovely of a time as I did, and I look forward to seeing you another time. Now, who knows what I will do another time? Maybe I will play more Hades too. Maybe I could get back to playing disco likes. Or maybe I could work some more on my cowboy game. Only time will tell. Until then, though, have a nice